What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kind of Funny podcast. I'm your host, Nick Scarpino, alongside the second best baby blue eyes in all of San Francisco, maybe also in Daly City, Mr. Tim Geddes. Tim, how you doing?
Host. I'm doing fantastic. This is going to be a good show.
Oh, it's already a great show. It's one of those things where I wish we could just start recording the pre-show, but every once in a while, I'm very glad we don't record the pre-show, but like we have good energy going into this. Of course, joining us also is It's Christmas Everywhere She Goes, Joey Noel.
Hello.
And back from his battle royale with every snake in the RGV, we've got the Hispanic heartthrob, Texas treat, Latino heat, clicking heads and ripping them to shreds, the globe-trodden headshot nitro rifle from Twitch.tv, Mr. Andy Cortez. Welcome back to the show, my friend.
Great to be here. Did you all see that video that Matt Batson made over on the subreddit?
No, I'm boycotting Matt Batson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm boycotting Matt Batson because he remade my my Doritos commercials better than my commercials with the cuter dog.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So I can't. Like on the one hand, I'm like, good for you. You're very talented. I think you should absolutely continue to pursue that. But like, do it on someone else's yard. Don't come onto my yard. Don't come onto my lawn. Use my lawn chair and sip my iced tea and sip my lemonade.
Water so loud.
It was so loud.
So Andy, like I looked away for a second and I was just like, I was sure that was either Kevin or Nick. Sure. Shocked to see Andy Cortez pouring water.
I honestly don't believe that it was his water, and I fully believe that Andy has a water pouring sound on his soundboard.
No,
because it was so loud.
It's the Elgato mic. It's so good.
Andy, you've come back recently from Texas, and I do want to talk about that. But I want to just shout out that you have a renewed energy to you, which I really appreciate.
Weekly goal complete, by the way. Fitbit.
Wow, pouring the water really got you.
Mm-hmm.
There. Oh, why would it sign me out?
All right, hold on, Nick. We got to watch this video. All right,
okay.
Matt Batson,
This
the
homie.
homie.
Bring it up.
People who have been bitten by snakes in both eyes have many questions. How did this happen to me? When can I return to podcasting? And how will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we provide a free book written by medical professionals who have treated podcasters who have been bitten in both eyes by snakes. You can overcome your fear of being bitten in both eyes by snakes by calling 1-800-69-SNAKE, toll free, or visit our website, bonermonger.com.
Okay.
People who have been bitten by snakes in both
it goes to my Twitch page, I believe.
Is it still his Twitch page?
Hold on, let me double check. Yeah, it still goes to my Twitch page. Yeah, that's the URL that Greg bought.
That's right. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far.
One of my favorite things about Matt Batson is A, he's a creative genius, and B, he's really oddly fascinated with Nick's Doritos commercials. Like, I think he might rival me as like the two people that care most about those fucking commercials. But I love the picture of Nick he uses. Is this a screen grab from the Doritos commercial?
Yeah, that was one of those fun things where when I edited that, I was like, I don't like any look I gave to the camera. I'm not a good actor. I hate this. And that is the shot I like least in all of those commercials. And now it's immortalized in a snake bite commercial.
Mm-hmm. I think it's one of those things where in the future, whenever you see a really cool documentary on a very weird moment in history that wasn't necessarily a worldwide event, but you kind of go, this was happening. And I think that Matt Batson in the future will find a way to document the creation of these wildly popular Doritos commercials on YouTube, why they were made, why are they so popular, and people will go, holy shit, this random person who works for a company that, does other stuff that you would think would get us a lot of views, but no, it's these random Doritos commercials. What's the science behind it? He'll bring in Google officials, he'll bring in people at YouTube, they'll maybe explain the algorithm and why it hit at the right time. There's something to uncover here.
Nick Scarpino's YouTube channel has 97,000 subscribers. And guys, I know we talk about this every couple months, but it just keeps going up.
Yeah, I'm hoping in the next couple months to get my little play button, my silver play button back there, because that'll be super fun.
You're so close. I kind of
forgot. Oh my God, I hate this.
Oh my gosh, I would love for Nick to every once in a while log into his YouTube studio and just go like, 3.4 thousand subs. Cool. Like in the last 38 days or 28 days or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like I can't imagine you just popping in and seeing stats and going, oh, cool. I gained 5,000 subs last week. That's cool.
It is. I'm very happy to be a part of 4 YouTube channels who are gaining positive subs for once in my life. That is that excites me very much. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, this is the Kind of Funny podcast. Each and every week, 3, sometimes 4 best friends gather around these mics, each bringing topics for your amusement. We have some guests every once in a while, so make sure you keep checking back. And if you want to support this podcast, you can go over to youtube.com/kindoffunny and subscribe to that channel. We are almost at 300,000 subscribers there. That is amazing. At that point, I
3
think
times more than Nick.
it's almost 3 times more than my channel. If you add all those up, though, if you add all of our channels up, we are well over 500,000. And if you include Kind of Funny Plays, we're at 500,015,000, which is great. We love you guys very much. Make sure you check out that channel also, because that channel is where we post all of our cool streams from Twitch that we did. Like we did today, we played a cool game that I was terrible at, and Andy and Stomach Mike and Bruce Green joined us for it, and that was super fun. I hope we post that one because that was awesome. Of course, shout out to our Patreon producers, Julian, the Gluten-Free Gamer, and Steve Powers. They have gone over to patreon.com/kindoffunny and backed us over there. That's another great way you guys can support this show. If we make you laugh and you want to throw a couple bucks at us, you get access to all of our content ad-free and the post show that we're going to do after this, where we tell you what we really think about Greg Miller. And let me tell you, it's juicier than a snake.
It's not good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. Today's episode is brought to you by Canva and Stamps.com, but we'll tell you about that a little bit later.
Juicier than a snake, huh?
I meant steak, Andy.
Oh.
And I was
snake
like,
on the brain, snake in the eyes, you know?
It's one of those things where I was like, Tim didn't notice.
I don't know. I noticed.
For once, I got him. He didn't give me a look. He didn't give me a nod. He didn't give me a shake. And then, of course, Andy.
I'm happy. Andy's back. We're all cylinders.
Gotcha.
What was it that Greg said? Everybody's Garf?
Garf, yeah. Mario Garf.
Let's go back to that one. Andy, you just came back from Texas. You're the first person at this company to ever leave for an extended period of time. How was it?
It was awesome. It was a blast. It was great to be home and hang with family and experience that hot Texas heat. I didn't think I would miss it as much as I did. And it was kind of shocking, though, to walk out of the airport and just feel this. You're walking into a cloud of wet, hot, fucking 87-degree heat at like 9 p.m. It was so muggy and humid outside. And it was great. My whole family was there. My nieces and nephew made a welcome back Theo Andy sign with a little Twitter verified mark because they're very proud of their influencer uncle. It was great being able to hang out with them. And I kind of like, God damn, you sort of lose track of how long this whole thing has been sort of affecting us. And I was like, Mika, how old are you? And she was like, we're 12.
Oh my God.
My nieces are 12. They're in middle school. They missed their first year of middle school was in quarantine, unfortunately, but 7th grade is coming up. Nathan is 10. How the hell did this happen? Like, I just, it's beyond wild to me that that's how old they are, because they're still like so tiny. They're still so cute, but God damn, they're getting older. But luckily they still think I'm cool. They still think my parents
running
are cool.
out of time, man.
Yeah.
they got opinions now. Those opinions are only going to start to grow.
No. They think I'm cool because I post that video of my nephew watching Lannon laser beam on YouTube. Nick, I'm in my room that my parents set up a lovely area for me to work from. Cool. I brought home one of the Razer laptops that Razer had sent us, and the homie Miguel Losada sent a shitload of stuff from Elgato. He's the one who works at Elgato. Sent me a whole pretty much streaming setup, and it was amazing. And I'm in my room, and I just in the living room here like, oh no, I see, hey, we're gonna get a little kill over here, and I'm like, that's fucking Lannon. And I walk into the living room, and my nephew's just like watching YouTube on TV, and I was like, who the fuck are you watching? And he goes, laser beam. And I did a little Instagram video. I was like, motherfucker won't even watch my content. And so I post that video, and then Lana replies, he's like, what a legend. And he sent a photo of himself smiling, and my nephew was like, oh my God, you know him? You're so cool, Theo Andy.
You're like, am I cool enough for you to start watching our content? Your nephew's like, nah, dude.
Yeah, for real, dude. For real. No, but I like the thing is, obviously, like everybody nowadays, you always hear about how all the kids want to be internet stars, and it's totally true. It's my nephew wants to do what I do. The girls want to be YouTubers, and they're always watching React content, and like it's rare for them to kind of turn on the television and turn on Cartoon Network or Disney Channel because it's React content, and I'm looking, I'm like, who the fuck are these guys? 48 million views, Jesus fucking Christ!
Yeah.
Like I have a heart attack every time I see the YouTubers that they're watching, and it's these kids, eating salsa and be like, whoa, oh my god, like, oh, I fucking hate the world right now. These kids are billionaires now, Joe, and it's a nightmare.
Those kids have crashed more Lamborghinis than we'll ever even see in our life.
It's so depressing. But yeah, so getting to hang out with them a lot was really cool. I was there for quite a while, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to be there for almost 3 weeks. I plan to take close to 2 weeks off of those 3 weeks or whatever. This goddamn Black Panther thing really put a wrench in a lot of my plans. Holy cow.
You guys crushed it.
It was beautiful. Like, goddamn, they killed it, and Greg did a great job with the War for Wakanda. If y'all don't know, like, this is something that Greg fully engineered on his own and just kind of had us be the support of everything. It was just amazing. He did a great job.
Yeah, he killed it.
And Greg was like, "Are you cool to do these assets?" Like, yeah, that's cool. But then I kind of realized, like, oh crap, I'm like, when Greg came back to me with revisions, I was like, oh, this is a real marvel.
Yeah.
And it turned into 3 days of revisions, and it was a lot. But luckily, I was like, all right, well, next week I was gonna work some days, but I'm taking those off now for the Marvel stuff. So everything was great. Yeah, it was great, dude. We played. I mean, it was cool being at home and having the Halo Infinite flight beta, and being like, Aaron, come over, dude. Like, Aaron and I are all about Halo, and we grew up playing that shit. So to have him and my nephew there, and my nephew being like, I'm pretty good at Halo on PC, and he's going like 3 and 18 or whatever. Like, little shit just sucks at video games. It's all good though.
Damn, dude. He's never gonna watch this one day, but it's gonna get back to him.
It's gonna get, yeah, he's gonna hear about it for sure.
And he's gonna kick your ass in Halo Infinite one day.
No, there's no shot, dude. There's no. When we've played Fortnite together, and he can crank Soggy 9. He's like no one, like nobody's business. He's just doing amazing tricks and building, but he can't shoot for shit. And he took me like into one of these custom matches to be like, D-Andy, can you come? And he's going all these weird custom areas, Joe, that I don't even. It's like other.
Oh, like the creative stuff.
Yeah, it's all other user created areas and servers. I'm like, what the fuck is all that? I didn't even know. Like, what the hell? And he's like asking me to do target practice. He's like, oh yeah, you're good. And I was like, yeah, dude. Like, so you build and let me shoot whenever we play Fortnite.
Yeah. What's gonna happen though one day, Andy, and it happens to all of us. It's happened to me. It's happened to Greg. Some would say it's happening to Tim right now. He just doesn't know it. Is that one day that kid's going to turn 22 and he's going to smoke your ass. And you're going to be like, what happened to my reflexes? And the answer is time. Time comes in and it just took them from you.
Father time is undefeated, as they always say, Nick. Father time is undefeated. It was a blast being home. We surprised my dad with an OLED TV.
My man.
And he got really choked up, and it was just amazing. Like, so like the surprise was like kind of spoiled a little bit, because in the 1 millisecond that I decided to show my dad my phone to show him a screen grab from that Amazon released for the Lord of the Rings series.
Did he see in the cart?
No. Like, it's just so happened that like as I'm talking to him, explaining what the hell is happening with the Lord of the Rings series, holding my phone for at least a good 2 minutes. The split second that I show my phone to show him the render of like the screenshot, my brother texted me, TV getting here tomorrow? And I was like, oh shit. And he was like, hey, what TV? And I was like, oh, it's for Brenda. And I just like made it up that we were getting his wife a TV. And he was like, oh, you're getting Brenda a TV? I was like, yeah, just for her little office or whatever. And I was like, my heart was racing. And then Best Buy shows up, Tim, like 3 hours early, dude. 3 fucking hours early. I'm like waiting for them at 3, and it's like noon, and my dad walks in and he's like, hey, Best Buy is here. I was like, oh shit. Go outside, and the guy was like,
I would love it if you kept trying to get the Brenda lie, just kept it going. Oh, they delivered to the wrong house. What's going on? Well, we might as well set it up here. And then 3 weeks later, like, Dad, this is your TV. This is not Brenda's TV.
But it was just great to be like, the delivery people left. He was like, oh yeah, it's a real big ass TV. I was like, yeah. And I was like, it's actually yours. And he was like, what? was like, yeah, we got you a new TV. And he was like, shut the fuck. Are you kidding me? And he was like, oh my fuck, no way. And he just like started crying a
Fuck
bit. And
yeah,
it was
man.
amazing, dude. So we
really
got that
nice.
old TV out of there and had this crazy LED bleed at the bottom where it looked
Mhm.
like there was always a border around it, like a surrounding. It was ugly. It's like one of the first 4K TVs to come out, and holy shit, it was just like it's the same size. They're both 65 inches, but he's like, my God, it's like
dude, no,
this
it's a transformative experience. I am so happy you did this for him. And that one
Amazing.
millisecond that might have ruined the surprise for a second for him, or at least got him on a scent for a second. Andy, let me tell you, now with that 1 millisecond response time on the LG OLED, he's gonna be
wow.
clicking heads with the
Wow.
goddamn best of them. Your
He's
nephew better watch the fuck out. The Cortez family's coming.
he needs to hook that shit up. But immediately the first thing we pop in, Interstellar 4K. Oh my
I
God.
Ooh.
I mean, amazing. What an amazing experience. It was a great time being back home, man. I took a lot of advantage of the sun where it's 5 p.m., Joe, and I'm like, I'm going to go for a run. And it's stupid to do that because it's 97 degrees.
hot.
You're running through hot air.
97, but I know that I'm facing this way this amount of time. I'll get sun hitting me here. I'm going to take a right. Sun's hitting me here to come back around. So I got this whole sort of track sort of laid out, trying to get equal suntan because my sister-in-law called me out and she like saw me sitting next to my brother. She was like, Andy, you are so white. I was like, yeah. She's like, do you not go outside at all? I was like, it's too cold to do anything. I go to the gym when I run. But so I got a little bit of a leg tan. I got a little bit darker, so I'm very proud of the progress that I made. Ate a lot of food, played a lot of basketball. It was a great time. It was a great time, everyone.
I'm really
Good
glad
to be
hear
back.
that, man. I'm glad we're glad to have you back.
Mhm.
That's such a nice gesture you did for your parents, and I'm thinking about doing the same. Not because I want to buy my dad a TV, but because when I go visit them, their TV is terrible, and I think it
Yeah.
would just be nice to have an.
It's
Now that I'm used to the problem is, Tim, once you're used to an OLED, you're like, fuck, I can't watch anything less.
Dude,
than this. This
look,
is-
I know, everyone. I know, but I don't care.
he knows.
I'm
He
gonna
doesn't care.
keep
He
talking
doesn't care.
about it.
You guys don't know what he fucking knows. He knows. He doesn't care.
There are just like few things that make me as happy in my life as my OLED TV and my phone, which happens to also be OLED. There's just something about OLED that I'm just so enamored by. But every time I'm watching the goddamn OLED TV, I have a moment where I'm like, how the fuck does it look this good? And it doesn't matter what you're watching. It could be YouTube content. It could be Interstellar in 4K. It just looks better,
dude,
man.
cable TV, like
The
having
blacks, man.
just like direct TV looks like a different broadcast. It really just changes the game for anything you watch. So yeah, we were really stoked about that. I got my mom a new phone also.
Wow.
She
Cortez
was
family coming up.
oh my God, dude, they have all like my fucking hand-me-downs, dude. They like everything that they have is like all shit that I used to own. But my mom was rocking a Galaxy S6, which is about close to a 6-year-old phone.
Sounds like
And
me.
dude, the battery would last like for 30 minutes, and she'd be like, I don't know why the battery dies so fast. I'm like, Mom, you've had this phone since 2015 or whatever.
Yeah.
So we upgraded her to a Galaxy S20, and she was really the few days before leading up to it. My dad would be like, "Hey, last night your mom was like just kind of real worried about her phone because like when it gets here, she's like, am I gonna like what?" Is it gonna look like this? Like, she's really terrified of the experience of switching over. But luckily, it all worked out, and her battery now lasts longer than 30 minutes, which is fantastic.
That is good to hear. As a person who likes to keep his phone for far longer, tell your than he should. Tell your mother that I sympathize with her because I don't like change either. And yeah, I like to be frugal. That's where
The amount of times that we told her that you can bring up the apps just by swiping up anywhere on the screen, and she'd be like, "Oh, I didn't know that." And my dad would be, "Rosa, I told you last night. What do you like?" We showed you. She's like, "Oh, I forgot."
Dude, so like this being your first trip back and forever, like how is Texas, at least where you're from, affected by the world being changed? Like even, I grew up in San Francisco, been here my whole life, even the districts I'm in, been here my whole life. Like seeing just the way like the parklets are everywhere now, just like the way people go about things is so different. And you were there when it was like a little before the insanity of things getting horrible
Right.
again. But like what's the new normal feel like for you?
I was really surprised by the amount of masks I actually saw. Texas, especially South Texas, you have this Mexican machismo. I don't need a mask, whatever, whatever. But I think enough people were affected that people just started to learn and understand. And I think enough people have gotten vaccinated as well. It wasn't as much of a train wreck as I thought it would be. Now, that being said, there's still the occasional jackass that's going to make fun of it. And there was a small Trump rally, which is just so disheartening when it's like, dude, he doesn't care about you. Like, you're brown. He doesn't care. Like, why do you want Trump? He doesn't like you. And it's just like so disheartening to see that in the Valley because there's a lot of disenfranchised people that really felt like he spoke for them. And it's just really a bummer. But when it comes to the new normal, though, Tim, like, you could go to restaurants and it's still, you have to wear a mask. It's mandated, so wear a mask. If you're going to eat, take the mask off and then put the mask right back on. It felt like I didn't really feel a whole lot of resistance to it. I think just because they've been kind of in that rhythm for a while. Mm-hmm. So I was pleasantly surprised, to be honest with you. I thought it was going to be a shit show, and I'm glad that it wasn't really that. And I never saw anybody getting mad or angry at a grocery store or whatever. It was all pretty chill, which is really, really good to see.
No, evidently they saved those for all of the airline flights that are coming out of California. That's where everyone gets mad and has to get duct taped to the chair. You see that guy had to get duct tape. I was like, bro, what are you doing with your life? You have to now tell people a story of that time you got duct tapes to a fucking chair on a plane because you couldn't keep your shit together.
He's too proud. He's too proud.
And I was too drunk, I think, and I think that was the whole point of that one.
Andy, did you get to hang out with your boys?
Yeah, a few times for sure. Went several meetings at Peter Piper Pizza with the Pizza People pick.
When you say meetings, you guys mean like there was like a agenda sent out and people.
The leader of the Diplomacy Act, right? We have to. Yeah. What's the 2021 version?
Set it up on the Google Calendar. We rented out the whole spot, made sure nobody else could come in. No, it was great. A lot of it was just me wanting to see friends that I hadn't seen in a while, aside from the regulars that I normally hang out with, where it's just like, hey man, I haven't seen you in several years. Like, what are you doing? Let's just go hang out or whatever. And I don't know. I just feel so happy that my friends group and even extended friends group are all rational people when it comes to health and rules and safety. And like, I'm always worried about the one person that might pop up and be like, but this fucking vaccine shit is bullshit. And I'm like, oh damn, I thought you were cool, But I'm lucky that like everybody I know and even a lot of my family are very, very smart and listen to experts about it, which is great to see. But yeah, me and all the homies got to hang out. It was just a lot of catching up, honestly, letting them know what the hell I've been up to, what they've been up to. Nothing too out of the normal. Because I still didn't really want to go out to large areas. I don't want to go to, I don't know, I'm thinking like the mall or whatever like that. I just kind of wanted to keep it fairly tight, and I would always wear a mask with me if I needed to, just because I was generally worried about who's around me. And because not everybody was wearing masks. I do want to point that out. Like, I think it was a lot more than I thought, but not everybody was really following protocol, unfortunately.
Joey, can you imagine what Andy would say about us to his friends? Like, what's the catching up version of like, oh, so how's your job? And then like Andy's just take on it of just like kind of embarrassed.
Well, no, it's like Andy's like, sorry, I have to reschedule this thing. I have to work on this Marvel thing, and they're like, what the fuck?
It's weird because that was really unfortunate because that's the week that my dad took off was the Marvel week, and so a lot of it was just like, yeah, he's like, you still working, Chinga? Like, yeah, sorry. But the stuff with my friends, though, it's weird because some of them have watched the content and know you all by name, but I forget.
Some of them used to hang out in your chat, right?
Oh, yeah, several of them do, yeah.
Yeah.
But I forget who knows you all by name. So there's times that I want to mention, like, oh, yeah, Tim was talking to Nick, and I'll be like, wait, I don't even know if you know who they are. So I'm just going to say my coworker and hope, and if you happen to know them, great or whatever. But yeah, when it comes to catching up and stuff like that, it's a lot of it is just what celebrities have you talked to? Like those are kind of the questions that I get asked a lot. You know, like have you talked? And I'll just show them like a little video clip, like, damn, that's fucking cool, dude. And like a lot of them don't.
Just you and Shaq.
Yeah, it's always
every
Shaq.
time.
No, it was Phil Spencer and Mina Kimes was the one that I was like that I kept bringing up because a lot of them watch sports like I do, and they're fans of sports. So that's a more recognizable name for them, as opposed to the director of 12 Minutes, or whatever.
Right. No disrespect to the director of 12
No,
Minutes.
oh, definitely not. Definitely not.
Well, Andy, you missed a few things, but I think the most important thing that I have a list of things I want to catch you up on, but this one's
Thank God.
This one's the top of the list. So going down, you missed obviously. We had a lot of great podcasts, a lot of great content, we did a lot of great streams. But the one thing that I think is most important to talk about, it happened the other night at the movie theater when we went to see Don't Breathe 2. I came in.
I shouldn't be judged for this. I just want to start.
I came into the theater.
Okay, that sounds great.
And I saw Kevin running back and forth in the lobby. And I saw Paula and I was like, what's happening with Kevin? Did they like screw something up? And she goes, no, Kevin has decided that he has talked the guy behind the concession stand to putting a layer of popcorn in, and then he runs all the way to the other side of the lobby to put a layer of butter, then runs all the way back to get another layer of popcorn put on. He did this, I kid you not, 4 times he ran around.
100% it was 4 times.
It was a range of emotions. So the person Paula was just looked at me and I was like, Paula, I'm so sorry. And then on the 3rd time, I was like, this is hilarious. And then on the 4th time, I was like, I want to try some of this fucking popcorn. Because I've never
So here, if I may, Nicholas, if I may.
You have the floor.
We have a Regal theater that has opened up in Stonestown.
They call it the Regal Beagle. That's
don't.
not true. That'd be cool if it was.
But we might start. So we were at the Regal Beagle, and
it feels good, right?
It does feel good.
It does. And we've started going there quite a bit because it's the closest movie theater. It's got a great theater. It's got the 4DX, and it's changing my life.
Has a parking lot, Andy. It's very exciting.
Shut the fuck up.
Free parking.
It's in Stonestown, so if we go early, we can have mall food. Wait, there's a lot of positives.
Is this the one, Kevin, that was going to be Tim's first return, but something about the tickets never? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, got it. I can envision it now.
Yeah.
It looks very much like a shopping center, Joe. Like there's a Joann's Crafts next to it or some shit like that.
It's near the old studio.
It's where we
Sports Authority.
Yeah, there's always a Dick's
The
Sporting.
Joann's is in Westlake. That's a different one.
Got it.
It's a different. So I get there. We've now signed up for the unlimited whatever because we're going to it.
Unlimited
so much.
Regal Beagle, baby.
That's it. The unlimited Regal Beagle. So I think there's some sort of signing bonus when you sign on. They give you some absurd amount of like, hey, here's 30,000 points, and it's like, fuck, am I gonna do with all these points? I'm gonna get free popcorn. So I go up to the man and I'm like, hey, I have got this thing for free popcorn, and I also have another coupon for upgrading my popcorn. And he's like, all right, you want to buy a small one and then upgrade it twice to the big size? And I'm like, I like the way you think, sir.
You're like, is that illegal? That sounds like it's illegal.
That was my concern.
It's illegal at the Regal Beagle.
At the Regal Beagle.
No, anything's legal at the Legal Beagle. No, I fucked it up. So I have an echo on my ears. Hold on.
Legal Regal Beagle.
Legal
There it
Beagle.
is.
I was really hoping
That's
that the
better.
guy would tell Kevin,
Regal Beagle.
you could upgrade and do all this cool stuff, but you're gonna have to run some laps for me.
I want to know. I want to keep going.
So we had a relationship spark up because he was cool.
Did you?
And,
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
and
this was
well,
a
also-
10-second relationship.
Oh yeah.
But to
like,
Kevin's,
he
to
smiled
Kevin's
and was like,
defense,
"Let's do this."
There's no one, like, it's me, Tim, 3 other people, and there's like 40 concession people behind the stand. So they're like bored. They're game for this shit. They're like,
Not to mention, before this started, we were like, it's like the first aisle that didn't look open, but Kevin and Paula were just standing there. So the guy was like, can I get you something?
It was
So-
Joey. It was open. All right. He would have had to turn on the cash register, log in. It was open. There
Were lines
So-
of other people that we just skipped in this scenario.
No, there's multiple lines. Joey's trying to like make it like I'm a bad guy. I'm not a bad guy. You know what I mean? I get you the coldest water, the crispiest popcorn. So the other thing is that you need to know is the Regal has terrible popcorn. I'd argue
their
it's some of
snacks
the
aren't great
worst.
there.
It's some of the worst popcorn I've ever had. So like it needs the butter, and for whatever reason, they have the butter on the outside.
Kevin, I
So
need more detail. Why? Like, is it texture, saltiness?
It's
Dry.
It's so plain. It's the plainest popcorn you've ever had. It tastes like nothing. It has no salt. It's got zero butter, as I've already said.
Yeah.
It just so bland.
I'm kind of game for that, honestly.
No,
I'm
I
a
think
fan.
as I was saying it, I was like, I could see you being like, that's what I want.
It needs
Yeah.
salt at least, though, right?
It just
my
kind of
thing is
tastes
it's
like
gotta have
styrofoam.
salt.
Yeah,
Well,
it
Andy brings
doesn't.
his own salt.
Well, they have salt. Guys, that's right. He's got the pickle
Andy
salt.
does. He's got the pickle salt.
Somewhere, it's somewhere around here. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like this man pulls out a giant bucket, which I wasn't initially thinking I was gonna order. Like we're talking about the comically large buckets, right? So
It was
I'm
like,
when he
wait,
says comically large, no exaggeration.
Like,
It
you
was
could bathe
like
a dog in this thing.
yes, exactly. Like moose. Like we could fit like 3 mooses in there.
for sure, moose
Yeah.
can fit.
Like if
and-
the places, if the tides decide to come all the way in and flood the place, you can use it
We
to
can
scoop
flood
out
it.
water and throw it
Okay.
away.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
That's great.
Very
So-
utilitarian.
He goes to start filling it up. I'm like, excuse me, sir. Would it be crazy if
This
you
is the
only
part where
fill it
Paula
up?
just puts her head down.
If you only fill it up a third, and then I run over and butter it, and then come back, you put another third in there, I run over and butter it, and we do that till it's full, and he is like, you know what, that's fine.
I miss
Now,
this
thank
happening
you.
in
I
real
don't
life.
think
I
he
was
was
like,
that
thank you.
nonchalant about it.
He laughed and was like, sure. He
But
was
in the
very
back of his mind, he's like, I
nonchalant.
hope this doesn't become a thing. Because if this is my job, I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit.
I mean,
this
honestly,
job.
they should move the butter. Like, they should put salt and butter on this damn popcorn. It is terrible. Even with all the butter on there,
Yeah.
it still wasn't great.
Well, maybe they're trying to make it more healthy. I will say, I
Well,
like
it's
this
not
theater.
good.
I like this theater a lot. I do love the parking, and there's a couple things I like more about it that I'll talk about now before I talk about the cons. There's pros and cons to everything, ladies.
I
and
just
gentlemen.
wish like I would do anything to be able to contact the people who are there and ask
Mr.
them
Beagle.
for
Mr.
yeah.
Beagle.
I would love to ask them for video
Rubber.
footage or some sort of like security cam stuff just to see Kevin just running sprints. And I'm imagining him doing the Olympic thing where they're
Honor,
doing-
I
They
didn't
weren't-
want to
yeah.
waste their time.
Andy.
I was sprinting because I was like, oh
Yeah.
man, like these guys, they're gonna have
It
other
wasn't
people
so much
coming.
a sprint. It was more like a very, 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 very fast walk, where it's like
Yes,
like
it's
a
true. It's not.
shuffle.
It's
It's
not
like a
appropriate to
shuffle.
sprint in the middle of
no.
a movie
And
theater.
Andy, if we were filming this, we'd go from a close-up shot. Just imagine a close-up shot of this guy's face, like, sure, we can do this.
I got
And
nothing else
then-
going on, sure.
Ultra wide shot of the biggest, cleanest, emptiest lobby you've ever seen in your life, and this tiny Kevin just like fast walking, like he's got, you know, that walk where you're like, oh my god, I just realized I have to poop real bad, and you have to
Yeah.
clench it and run, blah, 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 blah. That's what Kevin did. He's like good posture and everything. He was just clenching everything, holding this.
Andy, now the
Because you don't wanna
important thing to
spill.
notice that the more popcorn you put
The
on
harder
there,
it gets.
the harder it gets. Popcorn's
Now,
very
see,
light. You
Kevin,
get a
here's
lot
the
of
thing.
speed on there, it's gonna pull them up.
Yeah.
It sound on the outset, it sounded when I brought this up that we were going to make fun of you, and I think we've done an adequate job of that.
yeah.
But what I will say is you're smart, because there's every single time I want to put butter. I don't normally put a lot of butter on popcorn, but when I want it to get down to the bottom, and I end up doing the stupid layman's thing where you just kind of shuffle it and half the popcorn goes out of the bucket, and you've just wasted $90 worth of popcorn.
Now you gotta, you know what to do now. You gotta be more active with
Well-
it. But I would have loved to have put some hurdles in front of Kevin, see if he would have jumped over them.
Oh,
There
yeah,
were
I would've
people-
got it. I
there were a
would've
The
couple
got it.
thing that we haven't talked about is how far the butter is from the place
so
that Kevin
far.
was. Not only is it like 4 or 5 like different registers that he has to go across with like
There's a
little
bar.
There's a
like
bar,
snack
too, right?
Like a
interstitials
big
and
bar.
an equally as long bar.
Yeah, there's like an actual like alcoholic bartender bar there too.
Which
And
shout
so-
outs to the bar. Like they got a real bar, they make real drinks. I
And
respect
they
them.
smell good. They smell
The,
good.
the dude's name is Echo.
Yeah, that's a dope name.
Shut
That's
the
a dope
fuck
name.
up.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
he
that's
really
what his
likes
name tag says,
Kojima.
man.
There's also a
He's
best
He's a
friend.
big Kojima fan. Yeah.
There's a best friend that works
Yeah,
there too.
shout
That's
out to
really
Chris.
cool.
I think Chris is his name, our best friend that
Yep.
works there. And he's like, he checks in with us to make sure everything's cool every time we get with
Did we
tickets and
give him
stuff.
tickets last time and be like, please hand this over to Bless? Thanks.
He's the fucking man. I love
Thank
him
you
He's
so
so
much.
dope.
Oh,
Now,
shout
I will
out.
say though, I will say the one thing that I don't like about this place, and Tim, you're gonna know exactly what it is.
I mean, I have
it's
some grievances. I
A
want to share.
major
It's
grievance.
an inexcusable grievance as far as I'm concerned. And I will continue to go to this theater because it's clean and it has good parking. Those
Are we
two
going to
huge
find out who
pros.
it is after the sponsor?
Oh, you know what, Andy? Yeah, sure. Let's find out what these grievances are right after a word from our sponsors.
This podcast is brought to you by Canva. Guess what? You see all the cool stuff happening and Kind of Funny all the time, the new motion graphics from Tim or from Roger or from Nick or whatever. Guess where they learned to do a lot of that stuff, the new stuff, because they had basic skills before, but not expert skills. They've been learning it from Canva. Canva Pro is the easy-to-use design platform that has everything you need to design like a pro. No matter what you're creating and sharing, Canva Pro has everything you need in one place, including a collection of over 75 million premium photos, videos, audio, and graphics. Plus, Canva Pro comes with time-saving tools that simplify and speed up the creative process. Just go to canva.me/kindafunny to get your free 45-day extended trial. That's canva.me/kindafunny, canva.me/kindafunny. Our next sponsor is Stamps.com. If you know anything about Kind of Funny, you know we've been using Stamps.com for a long time. When Joey was sending out a whole bunch of Patreon stuff way back in the day at the office, she had to start using Stamps.com because we were using so many stamps and it's easier to use. Stamps with Stamps.com. You can mail and ship anytime, anywhere, right from your computer, send letters, ship packages, and pay less, a lot less, with discounted rates from USPS and UPS. Stamps.com saves businesses thousands of hours and tons of money every year. Stamps.com is no-brainer, saving nearly 1 million small business owners like you time and money. And with their switch and save feature, you can quickly compare carriers to find the best rates every time. Stop wasting time going to the post office and go to Stamps.com instead. There's no risk, and with our promo code KINDAFUNNY, all one word, you get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale. No long-term commitments and no contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type KINDAFUNNY, all one word. That's Stamps.com, promo code KINDAFUNNY, Stamps.com. Never go to the post office again.
And I'm back. Andy, if I said to you, I've got this beautiful theater for you.
Mhm.
I'm going to pay for your tickets. You're going to be able to drive your car over here. You got ample parking. And when I say ample parking, I mean I parked in a full lot that had one car in it, and I parked right next to that car just to be weird. I don't know why I did it. It just happened to be the part.
That's what you're supposed to do.
You're the guy. You're the guy at the urinal thing. There's
I am
18 other ones. Why are you next
just
to
happened
me?
to be like there was a spot right next to this guy that I was like, I like that spot a lot because there was something on the other side of it. Anyway, ample parking. Okay. Tickets are cheap. Everyone that works there is lovely. Okay. Movie screens are brand new. The place smells like a new car. You walk down
love
the
it.
hallways
Mhm.
and it's that quiet, nice smell. It hasn't started smelling like the years of built up soda spilling on it and just teen angst that you get from the AMC at the Metreon. But given all that,
Teen angst.
it's a Pepsi place.
Oh,
Fuck
you're
that.
right.
Yeah.
It's so tragic.
And it's proud
insane.
of it.
And
The
it's
commercials they
everywhere.
show, like, you know how there's like the Coke commercials in front of most theaters, like movies, and like
Mhm.
they're actually like well-produced motion graphics. They're kind of iconic, some would say. These Pepsi
Okay,
commercials,
relax, Tim. Relax. Fucking Jesus Christ. It's okay.
Damn, dude.
Iconic.
Yo, when you go into the bubbles,
dude, come on.
you know what I'm
Come on,
talking about, and you hear the bubbles around
commercial.
you. I'm
No, hold
bathing
on
in
a
it, dude.
second.
I'm like,
There's
what
always
are
Only
you
the
the
one with all
best
the
for Maria
kids.
Menounos, you know?
Yeah.
Don't be mad at
It's
it.
a commercial. It's
Yeah, and the
iconic.
Pepsi commercial, it's like a Pepsi product. Like, it's just so
Andy.
not as good.
Andy, you'll remember, of course, the iconic Coke commercials, right? Of course, back in the 70s, we have that. I'd like to give the world a Coke, and we can smile, and everyone's saying, and it was, and then we got the ba-da-ba, and then of course the one Tim's talking about, where we go into the bubbles.
Wait, here's the
Grievance
thing.
number 2. I have.
Wait,
with this
no,
thing.
real quick, just as a small rebuttal to number 1,
Yes.
you can always go in there early
Mhm.
and grab a can or a fountain drink from the mall. I don't think
That's-
that anyone would say anything to you.
That is true, and I don't think our boy Chris would say anything. But I also
Definitely didn't say
part
anything.
of-
Gio walked in with a Pokeball.
Gio walked in with an entire just Andy from Kind of Funny.
Let's get back to that Pokeball thing real quick. So it's a Pepsi place.
Pepsi place.
What's the Mountain Dew selection looking like?
That I couldn't tell you because I got a bottle of water. I was like, I don't want to waste
Yeah.
my
it's-
bladder space on a giant Diet Pepsi. It's not worth it.
Because here's the thing. Joey, you know that I fucking despise the remix stations for Coca-Cola at
How's
AMC.
They're
that?
so cool. They're so good.
They're garbage.
Fun.
The
I hate
Coke
the screens.
Zero tastes like shit. The cherry
screens are
Coke
always
Zero, it's
sticky.
just like, here, let
You
me
can get
squeeze
vanilla
a
Diet
fucking,
Coke, though.
let me squeeze a fake cherry in this thing. Like, no, I want actual cherry Coke anyway. But I get that because it's like, sure, this is kind of the only option. Now, if I were to go there and they also had Mountain Dew available, holy shit, I'm doing the Dew for sure. Like, zero chance I'm not getting either a Code Red, a regular Dew, Baja
Well, they got the
Blast, Livewire.
They got
They-
the normal Dew for sure.
They got the normal Dew. Okay.
Yeah. Joey
But it's
Noel, you
not
had
a
your
s-
hand raised.
Yes, it's not a serve yourself thing. Like they do the drinks for you, so it's not a big of variety.
Sanitary.
The
it's more
one
sanitary.
shout out that I will give them in regards to beverages is that they have Tall Boy sparkling water. So it's like the Tall Boy
Bougie.
cans because
And
I
Tall
always
Boy
want
beers.
more than one LaCroix or like whatever brand they use.
Absolutely.
But I don't want two, and that was the perfect amount, and I appreciate that.
1.5.
I was trying to look up to answer Andy's question of exactly what Mountain Dew products they have, like how hard are they doing the Dew, and I haven't found that yet. But what I did find is a lot of very angry people. Regal Cinemas are switching soda brands, and fans are freaking out.
Yeah, we don't
it was
like it.
announced January 8th, 2020. Regal Cinemas switching to Pepsi, and people are just pissed. Like it has started like
I get it.
revolt.
You gotta
I
grab
get
that.
it.
You gotta grab that dollar. You can't hate on Regal for grabbing the Pepsi dollar. Like I'm sure Pepsi was like, "Here's a boatload of cash. Switch over."
No,
You
Andy,
take-
it wasn't that,
Pepsi's
according to the
cheaper.
senior VP of food service.
Lies.
Quote, this is something where the stars aligned. Pepsi and Regal just share a mutual passion and excitement for the movie-going experience.
that's
bullshit.
Do not
I know,
buy
I
that
know
at
Pepsi.
all.
Pepsi hates movies. Pepsi does not like movies.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say like
Pepsi's
the
cheaper
VP was
though,
like,
right?
you know what,
Yeah.
Coca-Cola sounds
Way
like
cheaper.
cocaine. We don't want to be associated with drugs. I don't want that here. You know, that's
guys like
total bullshit
commercial.
story though. Total
Yeah,
bullshit.
Pepsi
story.
is synonymous for being cheaper. It's cheaper to get the license for. And cheaper to get
That's
all the
why
machine stuff for.
Costco changed back to Pepsi.
Yeah, it's
Quote,
horrible.
we
It
love
sucks.
momentum, and we think we've got some momentum now.
No, I need them to stop saying things like that. The guy's like, you take fire and ice and you get water. You're like, what are these adages we're talking about? What's
Stop.
happening right now?
Because
Stop.
here's the thing, like when it comes to sugared sodas, unless it's something like a Mountain Dew and I'm getting my bang for my buck, I'm not going to get a sugared soda, which is why I'll always sort of say I'll get the Coke Zero, even though, again, the Coke Zeros are never good as the bottle or the can or whatever it is that you're getting. So I would never go, everybody's mad about this switch. For me personally, it's not like I was going to get a normal Pepsi anyway or a normal Coke. I'm going to revert to whatever the diet thing is. But if they got the Dew, then holy shit, I'm in, guys. Like we got to figure a way out.
Andy,
Maybe
I
I bring in
feel
a Code Red and be like, hey, it's part of the family, and they'll just let me in.
Momentum.
Yeah.
Andy, I can't verify exactly what drinks they do because,
Yeah, I
of
can't
course,
see here.
they're ashamed of their drinks, so all they have is the Pepsi logo on the thing.
There shouldn't be. It's a
I
good
can't.
soda.
Well, not really. But what I can tell you is they have ices, and it's very hard to see. But that middle flavor, that's right. That's icy Mountain Dew.
Oh wow!
Shut the
Andy.
goddamn.
Wow.
Yeah,
You just
yeah.
sold Andy,
They also have
Kevin. You did a
disgusting
great
icy
job.
Pepsi.
It's so
Now-
hard to see, Kevin, by the way, but
But I mean, I know, but it was a visual aid.
yeah, okay.
I can see it.
I want to.
Now-
I want.
Okay.
Go ahead, Tim. Go ahead.
I want to. Can I, if I may,
You
bring
may
up my
have the floor,
grievance?
Andy.
Thank
Get
you.
off the floor.
So-
The airing
Floor
of
now.
grievances.
Going into this whole Regal Beagle situation, I was never excited about it because I am an AMC boy through and through.
Yeah.
Used to be a Century boy, but the Regal was always the one where I'm like, it
I
felt
still
like the
fuck with
Pepsi
Century.
of movie theaters, right? But their circumstances have changed in this post-corona time. They have kind of risen up as this like weird vertical of like the premium experience. It doesn't always work. They do some
They
wacky
went
shit that we
bankrupt,
haven't
too.
even done yet. This thing called Screen X. Not even
I
going to
wanna
get into
check
that.
out.
Sounds like a disaster.
No,
But
come on.
the one thing that they need to figure out that honestly, I think I'm going to talk to somebody about. I don't know who, Mr. Beagle himself. Maybe I'll start with Chris and work my way up. Or maybe Echo. Echo might be the better starting point. Is why do they keep the lights on for the movie trailers? before the movie plays.
Oh, I don't like that.
It's the only theater
Now-
I've ever experienced this
This
where
seems like something we can handle, though.
I understand when Maria Menounos is doing her goddamn thing,
Right.
and we're loving every second of it, where it's all light. That is talk
supporting
time.
them.
That is everyone just getting in here. But when trailers come on, that is a sacred time. That is part of the movie experience. I understand there's pros and cons, and I understand lights being on allows people to come in a little later and be able to more comfortably
That's what it is.
maneuver the seats. But the reality of the situation is that with reserved seating that we have now, that shouldn't be a problem. And with the amount of space in this corona world, not post, that we're in right now, the seats are so far from each other. They're all recliners and shit. So it's like, that we don't need that. I need to watch my goddamn movie trailers, because otherwise, when the lights are on, it doesn't feel like it's a real thing. It doesn't feel like it's part of the experience, and it allows
Some
people.
chatter here and there.
Or chatter is one way to put it. Another way to put it, and dude, I am blowing you up right now, Kev, and Nick to an extent.
Oh no,
What?
yeah, go to hell.
What?
Like the
What are you
lights
gonna
were
say?
on. Because remember when you were doing that thing,
Let
the
me tell
hot
the
dog, and I was
story.
laughing
Let
at
me
you?
tell the
It
story.
was funny, Kevin, and you were right to laugh.
I was
We're
making him
in this
uncomfortable,
theater.
just so FYI, the way he was laughing, and it was very purposeful.
We're in this theater about to watch a horror movie. All right. There's a bunch of people in theater. Don't breathe is what we're watching.
Don't breathe.
Everyone's excited. We're ready for this trailer to start playing. Trailer plays, whatever. Shang-Chi's trailer's playing. People are excited about this. They want to pay attention to this.
No
is,
one's paying
again,
attention.
part of
Literally,
these-
there's
What do you mean?
6
No one's
people.
paying attention.
There was
There's a
6
theater full
people
of
in the-
people watching the giant screen in front
There
of
was
them.
like 6 other people. They
Nick,
weren't even all there.
Nick is sitting there in the aisle, at the end of the aisle, and goes, Kevin, Tim. We look over at him, and he has a hot dog, and like, I don't even want to mind
don't
what
wanna
he was
know. You
doing
don't
with
even
the
tell
hot
people
dog.
about the hot dog.
But it was just like, he was just fucking going for it, and he was doing the thing, trying to get the hot dog out of the bun. It's a whole fucking, it's a Nick thing. We get it. Kevin, sitting next to me,
I was
just
peeling
goes,
the candy. I was like peeling the hot. Yeah, Kevin
he
went hard on
stopped
that.
laughing, and I'm like, dude, be quiet. Like, what
Did you
you're
see
doing?
Nick, though?
So he
Nick
started,
definitely-
like, overacting even more, and I'm just like, yo,
was-
this is like the rudest thing possible. I don't even understand why you would do this in any context,
Can I
lights on or
explain?
off.
Can I
but
explain?
There's a show going on right now.
It wasn't. We were in trailers. That's different time than the movie starts.
That's an inappropriate way to act in a social setting, regardless
There
of
was
trailers.
I was responding to an inappropriate
Let him fight it out.
behavior.
Let him fight it out.
And
Let him
people
fight it
were
out.
looking, and Nick was feeling uncomfortable, but he had to double down.
I was not feeling uncomfortable because I knew that only you and Tim were the only people that could see it. And second of all, just for clarity for everyone, all I was doing was peeling the bun off of the hot dog like it was a banana, and then stuffing it into my mouth, in and out of my mouth.
In and
The
out.
girls miss so much when we go to the bathroom. Like I
Yeah,
had no idea that
yeah.
any of this happened.
No, this is just among.
I
boy stuff.
will say though, Tim, that it really does sound
It's
like
tough.
you have
Overreacting,
fully
thank
understood
you.
the problem with not turning down the lights because of Kevin.
There you go.
Because Kevin is like, it's just the
rules are different.
previews,
The
but if the
rules are
lights
different.
were off,
Sure,
you
then
wouldn't
it's
have that
serious.
same feeling. Yeah.
Problem. It's a menace, dude. Regal
Now,
Beagle, figure
Tim,
it
you
the fuck
brought
out.
up an interesting point. You said, "I get why there is, but there's all this space in between the chairs and the front, the back of the other row, right? So people can walk down that." The chairs at this place are another of my grievances. They're not automated chairs, Andy. They're smaller recliners
What?
that you have to push back yourself.
No, you don't.
No,
not.
in some of them.
Oh, I
in
think-
some of them.
I'm thinking
Wait,
about
no,
everything.
he's right. No, you're right. Because in Green Knight, it's definitely not automated.
Those aren't recliners. Those are
They're just like the
seats.
normal chairs.
But they
yeah.
some of them
Any
recline.
theater Nick's been in has been a recliner.
Has
No,
it been?
but the-
no, I
the one-
reclined in one of them, and I remember Gia complaining when she had the Poke Bowl because she was like, "What are with these seats? How come I have to push them back myself?" Because she said, I don't weigh enough to keep it tense," and it kept trying to catapult her into the row in front
Yes.
of
Oh,
her.
that
Some
was
of them
Jungle
aren't.
Cruise. Jungle Cruise.
No, 'cause
wasn't
I didn't
there.
see Jungle Cruise.
No, yeah, definitely.
What
not,
did
'cause
we
that
see
was
before?
shooting her
We
out.
saw not Fast and Furious. What else did we see there?
Definitely in Green Knight. Oh, Suicide
Suicide Squad.
Squad.
That's what we saw
Suicide
there.
Squad.
Those
Yeah,
those
those seats
were
were like
not
weirdly
recliner.
not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those weren't.
they-
But those
like-
are just normal chairs.
No, but you do lean back and it goes back.
Yeah.
But like,
I didn't
it's,
like 'em.
It's a weird in between space of like, I'm leaning back for the support, and you're like,
But the chair is not giving me support, and that's
yeah, it's going back. It's going back. I'm trying to eat this
I'm
third hot
looking for
dog here. You know
support.
what I mean?
I don't get it. But I will say
I
this:
mean, but to that degree, you're right about that. Those are one of the like shitty theaters though, where it's like any movie we ever see going forward, it's never going to be in one of those.
Unless we go to a screening thing, in which case it'll be in there.
I don't know. I was the only one that's been there, and that sucks.
Now I will say one of the other things, and we can move over to a Patreon question.
No, I wanted before we do move on, I wanted to say what would you call it if the star of Forgetting Sarah Marshall is there against the law? It's an illegal seagull, regal beagle.
So we're just gonna move. Are we gonna move?
We're just gonna wrap it up there.
We're gonna move past the Pokeball.
I mean, when it comes to the Pokeball, all I wanted to bring up
so much shit. I would get so much shit for this Pokeball.
I do want to say that.
I
do want to say that I think Gia gets a pass because she's Gia. But if it was Kevin,
she didn't get a pass.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no. Why would she deserve a pass? That's ridiculous.
Now I don't think it's ridiculous. Here, let me clarify.
Gia does get a pass. Yeah.
Well, first off, Gia gets a pass because she's Gia.
Because I think of her bringing the sushi on the plane as well.
Yeah.
Plain gyoza.
Gyoza on the plane. She did not get a pass for, but I also didn't get a pass because that was when I got the plane meat. That's when I brought that barbecue from Austin, and she was like,
so bad.
"Oh my god!" Like eat. If you want to get some funny looks, Andy, eat some barbecued pulled pork on a plane from Austin.
Well, Andy's never there because Andy always stays.
Why do you call it
on
plane
Nick's
meat?
Austin shenanigans?
It was so good.
Because he got at the airport.
You pop that thing off and it smells like a stuck pig. It is
God
just boofy.
damn it.
Stuck
What
pig.
does that mean?
But I want to say I gave Gia a little bit of crap, not because she brought the Pokeball in, because I was like, there's nothing wrong with that. This is not something that is super fragrant. It's not something that's loud. It's just a Pokeball. I couldn't smell it that badly. It wasn't like.
Well, we couldn't smell it because the dude with the deodorant was
there. Was a guy that was super boofy around us as well.
There
was a guy that smelled a little bit like a Taco Bell and not in a good way. But what I had, the bone I have to pick with Gia is the same bone I have to pick with everyone when they don't finish their food.
Oh,
I'm like, she ate half of this bowl and was like, I just don't want any more of this. And my brain, I don't understand that. I'm like, wait, there's food in front of you. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, and you're not eating it. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, I don't know. Again,
I don't understand that process. Yeah.
Yeah. I have never, like, that is the hardest thing I ever have to deal with. Where I'm like, I know I'm full, but I can't listen to my body right now. It was a perfectly good Pokeball, lukewarm temperature. Maybe the fish started to spoil already. I don't care, but I'm going to put it in my body. So give it a good place to store.
Yeah. The first day I was back home, my mom made my favorite shrimp linguine. And it's the noodles with the oil, and it's fucking garlicky and lemony, and the shrimp are all there, and there's Texas toast, and it was just like, I told myself I'm not gonna hold back.
Yeah.
And usually I would say, gosh, you gotta limit yourself, just get one plate, Andy. I said no, I'm gonna fuck this up real good, and there was some extras for me later, and it was just such a treat, Nick. But the rest of the trip I had to be like, I'd go to my grandma's house and she would make fideo or caldo de pollo or something like that. It's like, all right, I'm stopping myself here. I'm going to be responsible.
Smart.
You don't have this metabolism anymore, Andy,
Nope.
all right? Because usually what happens is I go all out and I'm fucked up for the rest of the day. Like I'm lethargic. I just want to sleep. So I made sure to limit myself a lot. Last week after the podcast, I had told Kevin that I was going to Topgolf. And we went to Topgolf with the whole family. If y'all don't know what Topgolf is, if you don't have one in your town, you should go seek one out. It's a lot of fun. It is basically, we've talked on the show before, it's like Mario Golf IRL. Golf. I almost said it.
Golf.
It's a driving range, and there are targets to hit on the ground, and the targets light up at night. And
they have all these fun mini games that they have set up for you.
You could just shoot the shit and just kind of just shoot, hit the ball as hard as you want and wherever you want, or my brother and I will figure out ways to like compete in certain, closest to the pin, aim for this target. My brother got insanely good at golf, by the way. Holy shit. And apparently my mom was like, well, that's all he fucking does. But
the balls
yeah,
all have trackers in them, so it's very easy to see where you hit stuff.
right. Yeah. The every you walk into this little dispenser, Nick, you wave your golf club in front of it, and the golf ball comes out, and that ball is now tied to your username. So
That's
wherever
so
you
cool.
hit it, if it lands in a target,
That's
it'll
super cool.
say 10 points here, or here's a multiplier since he got closer to the thing or whatever. It's an absolute blast. We drank, we ate a bunch of really unhealthy appetizers. It was a blast. But the funniest thing was I got there, I was like, I need a new card because mine is probably expired. You need a little membership card. I think you pay $5 for the card, but it's just free. And you just use that to kind of swipe your name, so your name will pop up on the screen. And everybody, we're all masked up, and I give the dude my phone number, and he's like, Andy Cortez. I'm like, yeah, and he goes, are you Andy Cortez from Kind of Funny? I was like,
Shit.
yeah, and he was like, are you kidding me? No. He's like, dude, I listened to the Kind of Funny podcast. That's fucking crazy. I was like, we just finished recording it. This is absolutely wild. So shout out to you. I didn't get your name, but that was just really hilarious. He was like, I knew you were from the Valley. I just didn't know like where. I was like, yeah. He's like, this is wild. That's fucking crazy. So shout out to you. You're cool.
You're
You
like-
helped out a lot.
You're like, that's super cool, but also be cool because I'm about to get real fucked up and hit some golf balls.
Yeah, no photos. I'm gonna get real
I'm
drunk,
gonna
real
get
hammered.
sloppy, bro. I'm hanging out with my brother for the first time like that.
It's a blast. Everybody should try it out if you have one within range of you. We were gonna try to go, and I still think we should, Kevin. I think it's
I
a
would
lot of
totally
fun.
go to this. This sounds like it's a lot of fun. I
a great
don't
time.
golf, but I can probably hit a ball if memory serves me correctly because I used to go to the driving range occasionally. So I would love to do that. That'd be super fun.
I mean, dude, it's the golf version of bowling where you go at night and all the lights are up and there's music playing and you're just kind of hanging, drinking.
Yeah, I love
You don't even have to hit if you want. Every once in a while, we'd just be like, Dad, you want to go? And he'd be like, yeah. So you just take my club and
Take it,
just-
hit it.
yeah, it was great.
That's
It was
great.
a blast. A lot of fun.
Super fun. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, if you want to be a part of this show, there's lots of ways you can do it. You could work at a Top Golf, the RGV. You can work at the Regal Beagle Cinemas over at Stonestown, or you, of course, can back us over on patreon.com/kindoffunny, where if you do, you can write in, just like Grant Burton did, with a very interesting question right now. He said, if the government wanted to send your sperm to another galaxy, along with a crew of human colonists to help populate a new human race, would you do it? Tim.
This is the type of question that my gut says, I don't give a shit. Why not?
Right.
But as I've gotten older,
Mhm.
I've realized that anytime I think what I just said,
Mhm.
in the future, I'm like, thank God I didn't do that. Like, there was a long time in my life where I was like, I'm not going to run for president. All these people are so worried about themselves. Like, why? Like, you're not that important. Who the fuck would have thought that everyone's important?
Yeah.
Everyone has
Anyone
social
can
media.
be- anyone can be.
Everyone, the words they say are so meaningful and important. The actions they take. So with that, I'm just gonna say no because I don't fucking know what's gonna happen in space. I don't know what's gonna happen here. But the idea of me having a child, I don't know if one day the rules are gonna change and all of a sudden this freaking space kid's my kid and I'm responsible and I owe a bunch of back taxes.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
pay for
so
this kid.
true.
Child support.
Wait,
Mars child support too. Is the interest rates on Mars are way worse.
Wait,
Well,
but like, there's
higher
no
up there.
child, right? Like in your lifetime, it's just gonna be floating in space on its way to another galaxy.
Yeah, you will probably be well dead before they
Yeah,
actually
like
recolonize.
it'll probably be 1,000 years, maybe
I
even
mean-
10,000 years before.
but the
they
Getty
utilize this
sperm
frozen
and your
sperm.
height and your eyes will and your hairline will live on through colonies throughout the galaxy.
I think that makes this question infinitely less interesting. If I'm dead, who really gives a shit? Like, I think you have to be alive. If the
Okay.
If the
Mars
question
life.
is
No,
in
but
the
I mean, I
next
think
10
that's just-
years, they are going to use your sperm to repopulate a colony somewhere on another planet or whatever.
We'll say Mars.
Then I would say, Tim, I'm with it. I say fuck it, let's do it.
Mhm.
If it's gonna be someone with my personality, you know what? Shit would never get done. I would just be so anxiety ridden the whole time in space.
Yeah.
All those children with my genes would just be like, hey, I'm gonna draw something really cool, but I'm fucking terrified to do anything else. Like I don't know about all this whole space stuff, so probably
I
not.
say
How
we
does
go
the-
in as one.
Okay.
We mix
We
it all
go in one
together.
cup.
Mm-hmm. And we just see what
Yeah,
happens.
they're gonna know whose kid it is. They're gonna be like, this kid's balding.
This
and
kid's
he's-
really hairy.
He's 5'8", and man, his back hurts all the time. Why does his back always hurt? And like, this is Nick's kid. This is Nick's kid. Or it's gonna be a kid that grows up. He's 6'2", blue eyes, and just is really attracted to blue light. He's like, I don't know what it is, but I think all the light should be blue on this red planet.
Love it.
I totally would.
I think I would, but I gotta have some sort of like. Am I just helping the future race? Who gives a shit
You're
about
helping.
that?
In this world, I imagine that Earth is dead, right? People are like, let's call it what it is. Drought? No, it's the forever drought now. There's no more potable water left. We can't do it. All the oceans are dead. You're the last generation to live on Earth. It's a party, by the way. It's gonna be a super fun party till we're done. But we need people either to go with us or here's some cups. Here's some Dixie cups. Start filling those bad boys up and stick them in your freezer because they're gonna need those
Joe,
things on Mars.
I'm gonna need some sort of prize for this.
I like some sort of compensation.
Yeah. Yeah.
My real question is why us? Why are they asking us for it? Is there no one? No offense.
Well, I mean,
more
presumably
Is there no one better?
presumably they were like they hit the rock up first, and he was like, "Well, each one of my sperm, each individual sperm is going to be worth $1 million." And they were like, "Well, we don't have that kind of money, Rock." So they've worked their way all the way down to us, which we'll just put in the free sperm category. You know?
Damn. So we're really
But
not
that's
getting
the
compensated
opposite
at
of
all.
what Andy was asking. Yeah.
Well, Andy, what's the compensation you would want for a jar or a vial of your little guys?
God, because I was like, maybe
What if
let
I
me
said this?
maybe let me go
What if
on
they
this trip, but then I
Then
don't
you
want
have to
kids.
parent.
I don't want to have to claim them.
No, if you go on the trip,
What
you
if they
gotta parent.
forgave your student loans?
You got to co-parent.
Ooh, because you know when as the Earth is crashing, like Sally Mae's still coming after my bitch ass.
It's like the sky's on fire and you get a phone call. You're like, God,
Yeah, leave me alone.
leave me alone.
Fuck.
Andy,
'Cause-
it's like here's the thing. Let's stop right here. Of course, this has already been solved for us, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, you'll remember the hit film, one of the greatest films ever made, Armageddon, where they get to negotiate with the government. It's a negotiation, Andy. What do you want for
true.
this sperm? We need your sperm. What do you want
Don't
for it?
want to close my eyes. I
What
want
do you want,
Aerosmith
though?
on the shuttle plane with me as
You don't get to, you're not going on the shuttle.
Oh fuck.
You don't get to go on the trip.
That could be one of your terms, though, right?
It could be a term. I guess it could be a term. It could be a term.
I want my kid and Steven Tyler's kid friends. They're
So
friends.
you
for
want
life.
your kid to be kid with friends with Liv Tyler.
Yeah, with Liv Tyler. Well, no, Steven Tyler's DNA.
His kid.
Like, also send
Oh.
his semen up there if he can still pump one out.
I'm sure he can.
I don't
He'd be a
know.
good
He's
one.
pretty old.
I'm sure.
They can figure it out, science.
He might be shooting blanks now, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But science by that point, who knows? It turns out I don't know what I want because now that I'm thinking of it, like, you know how people say having kids now is not like think about the future of the planet. You want your kid to endure this. You want your kid, to live through what the hell is happening with the planet heating up and we're gonna be underwater in 70 years or whatever. But for me, it's more worrisome because like this kid's gonna be allergic to everything.
yeah.
This kid won't be able to eat a fucking egg. This kid's gonna be allergic to cats. Who knows about space cats? I don't know what kind of cats they got on Mars. Like
Flurkins.
Well, the other scary thing
Flurkins.
is that on a lot of these intergalactic flights, they only serve tater tots. And
Ah.
It's super scary.
Here's the thing. They're gonna put young Andy in a spacesuit, and the fabric is gonna make my skin itch and stuff. Like
Mhm.
this kid is a disaster. It's like, do I want to put that out into the world?
Yeah. Well, I mean, presumably,
The
by the time
universe.
they've colonized this place, structures are in place, and then so the kid doesn't have to wear. He'll be wearing normal clothes and growing up on whatever the equivalent to what Earth 2 is going to be. So it'll be an Earth-like
Ah.
environment, but there is a possibility of getting attacked by a Martian bear or some sort of
Yeah.
intergalactic bear thing.
Like there better not be cedar trees up there, because good
Oh,
lord.
there's definitely cedar trees. Yeah,
Fuck,
you're allergic to
yeah.
cedar. Yeah, there's a redwood
Real.
maybe. I don't know, whatever they have over there.
real
What?
allergic, dude.
My deal is simple.
Yeah, what's your deal, Tim? What kind of
I will give the space people my
My
juice.
my LED walls.
space juice?
If they give me their space jizz,
What is that?
I want to have
There's no aliens.
some of the alien jizz.
Oh, you want
There's
some
no
alien jizz?
aliens. There's no aliens.
What are you
in
gonna do with the alien
scenario.
juice? Sell that on eBay?
Well, here's the thing. We know that there's aliens out there. We know the government knows, and this is the position that you can put them in to like finally own up.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
just gonna give him a vial of green liquid and be like, "Yep, there it is."
Yeah.
It
How'd
is
you know it's
210.
green, Kevin? Are you in on this?
Kevin,
That's the thing.
Oh,
It's gonna be Mountain
Kevin in
Dew.
the pocket.
it's Mountain Dew. You're like, it is Mountain Dew. It's Mountain Dew.
I feel like that'd be an easy thing to profit off. People are
Mhm.
dumb. And
Oh,
I'm good
yeah.
at selling things.
Yeah, you are good at telling things people are stupid. You can probably do that
Wait.
right now. You probably here's
alien
juice.
Right.
juice?
Fuck it.
Alien goo.
I don't even need to give away my stuff.
I think I would ask for I think my one stipulation would be I would like a lifetime supply of Peter Piper pizza.
You guys don't get stipulations.
And I would never give Andy any.
I think you're
I
real
would just
smart.
never give-
Yeah, you guys have changed the prompt completely.
That's what we do here. It's an improv
The
show.
prompt
Joey,
totally did change to what
Yeah.
do we want for this?
Joey, are you sending ovaries up in space?
Are you sending anything
don't-
up to space?
I don't know.
You have to be careful. Remember, now they could be mixed with Andy's ovaries.
True.
Or Andy's
Well, no,
I don't know if we need
Andy-
that.
Not
Andy's
ovaries.
ovaries.
If you
That was
were to
my bad.
send, it's a possibility that you and Andy could sire a space child if this is the case. Remotely.
Space dwelling child.
Man, that child's going to be really, really good at procrastinating between me and Andy.
Yeah.
Well, the great thing is there's nothing to do on these planets, right? There's no like internet and stuff. So what the hell else are you gonna do? Just procrastinate. It'd be perfect.
Wait, but they
Yeah.
got
So
they-
here's the thing. My entire life, if anytime they're like anybody's trying to like get me to do something and they're like, oh, like it'll be fine, like you're not gonna get caught. I'm always the one that gets caught for doing anything wrong.
Me too.
So I
That's what
know
I
that
tell
this is
people
gonna
that I
bite
do
me in the ass somehow. I don't know how, but I know that that's how the galaxy works. Like I don't get free passes for things.
Interesting.
So I think because I think I'd be scared. I think I'd be too scared and I'd be like, no.
But
I don't think
Joey,
I can do
what
it.
would you be scared of? Because the thing is, like I know that we want to change it, but like the truth is, it would go out into space, you would die, and then potentially your genetics would live on in this, intergalactic human species. It's pretty cool.
But then I'm gonna get blamed for something somehow. I'm gonna be the one in the history books for Earth 3 or whatever we're on by
Just a
now.
picture
And
of
it's gonna
Joey
be like,
being
Earth 2's fucked.
Earth 2.
this is the reason that
total-
Earth 2 fell, and it's just gonna be a picture of
Total
me.
disaster. Earth 2. And it's just
Earth 2
Joey
is
Noel.
Andy's. Earth 2, they're like, this didn't work out. Everyone's too allergic to shit.
It didn't work out. Turns out we went to an entire world of redwood tree or cedar trees, and all these kids just died.
Ruled by
Kevin, what about you?
cats.
What's your thought on this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. Seems pretty
Push it
simple
out.
enough. There you go.
Yeah.
Sure.
what do you want for it, Kevin?
I think I think I'm good. I think I'll just fill the cup and
Really? No
going.
compensation.
My favorite
a good
thing,
guy.
You do it for free?
Yeah.
What if you got to pull an Armageddon, right? But like, you really need this? Yeah. I never want to pay taxes again.
But
love
like
that
I'm
part in that
saying, like
movie.
I'm good. I'm saying I don't have to do that.
Damn, dude.
Um,
Kevin's just doing it for the human race. He's a lot less selfish.
But
than
like,
Noah.
here's
He's
the
best
thing.
of us.
Once I'm talking to these people, and again, I'll give them the cup, but like I'll definitely sit there and be like, I will be more useful on this rocket than I will be on Earth. Take me with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, they're like,
Take me
sir,
with you.
we already have enough people that are going to run back and forth and refill their popcorn with butter every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But do they have enough?
In space,
You know
though,
what I
it's actually 70 yards away from each other, Kevin. It's a
But
lot
you
of running.
You can float over there. And
Yeah,
but
you
have to
float.
keep
You
the
don't have to
popcorn.
run.
Bounce
Yeah.
over.
You gotta keep your hand over the popcorn.
Yeah. Make sure it doesn't float out.
Make sure it doesn't float off. We got time for one more. I'll ask one more. Maybe we'll answer that in the post show. Grant Burton actually writes in again with another banger. He says, if you were caught in a time loop, how would you make others believe you? And also, what would you do in such a situation? So we're talking Palm Springs. We're talking Groundhog Day. We're
I'm
talking that Marlon
convinced
Wayans
I
movie.
could convince Kevin really easily. Like, I don't think I would need a plan. I think it would
Yeah.
just be like, I think he would trust me. Because I feel like just the way I would be acting and the sincerity that I would have, he would be able to identify as I really need help. And then
Yeah.
he would be there.
Tim, if you were like, hey, I'm in a time loop, I'm really fucking scared, I don't know what to do, I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're like, look, a car's gonna go by and a plane, and it would be like, all right, well, you're telling the truth.
Yeah. And then like I'm actually at this point, this is going from a nice thing to a fearful thing. I am scared of what I could get Kevin to do given this situation.
Oh, if you were
Yeah,
like
that's the
Kevin,
thing.
there's no
I
There's
am
doubt.
almost sure I could get him to murder someone.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
He'd kill me.
There's trust. You know what I mean? There's trust involved. He
Yeah.
wouldn't break the trust, and I wouldn't break the trust.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm
Bro,
kind of worried
I
about
can't even
that.
fathom the amount of times that if we were in his time loop right now, that Kevin would have killed me. I can't even just think about that.
There's nothing that you all could do to convince me. I don't think, because I'm so overly paranoid of they're tricking me. They're screwing with me. It would take a lot for me to actually believe you all that this wasn't some gigantic, elaborate Greg Miller prank that he's been planning for the last decade.
Yeah, but
So
let's get real
scary.
about Greg's pranks, right? Greg's like, I'm a great prank. He hasn't done shit. What have you done for me lately, Greg?
Nothing,
What prank have
nothing.
you pulled on us lately? It's been 7 years since the
greatest
Nutter
prank-
Butter debacle.
And that
got
was you pulling
shit.
it on him.
You ain't got shit.
Yeah.
I know, but he was like, I'm gonna get you guys back for this one day.
No.
But you had my
now he's
mom
having
call into a
kid,
show
he's
one
gone.
time.
You got real
It
upset
pissed
about
me off.
that.
I was
Yeah.
I was
You
mad about
got
that.
so mad.
It pissed me off. He says.
Just if I could briefly answer this question, because I really feel like, what was it, Palm Springs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Palm Springs.
Like they nailed it, right? Where it's like you just have to learn astrophysics and like try to get your way out of it.
You do
I
have a lot
got
of
a
time. I would
delay,
learn-
Tim.
I would
I got a
learn guitar
delay in
first.
my ears. I can hear myself echoing really hard.
The
It kicked
vacuum's
in
going
right on
off.
the
It's a lot of stuff.
astro.
No vacuum,
Right on the
no vacuum,
astros when they
Yep,
delayed.
yep.
And Kevin was like, I don't know where I'm at anymore.
Dude, it
The,
randomly
Delay.
kicks in at like 2 seconds of a delay. I don't know if you know how bad that is
Oh,
to have a
it's horrible.
conversation
Yeah.
with you talking 2 seconds behind you.
It's tough. It's tough. It's almost like when we're on streams and you're like, Nick, watch out. And I'm like, that happened 5 seconds ago. That was a 5. I'm already dead, Kevin. I'm already dead.
I think the universal answer is what Kevin already mentioned. What all these video games do is I could tell you what's about to happen in a minute or whatever. And I think that's kind of the go-to answer. For me, this question reminds me a lot of what is something that you would say to let people know that you've been kidnapped? We always see that Twitter thread go around
Mhm.
where what is something that you would say to let people know, oh, this isn't actually Andy's tweeting. Somebody like took over his account. What
Is that? I don't think that's the intention of those tweets.
No. Yeah. I lost my train of thought, but it's like say something to let people know that something's wrong, and it's always
Yeah.
like the opposite of what you would feel or whatever. So mine would be like, I guess what, guys? I hate pizza, and you know what? Hulk was better than Thor. And people be like, Andy's
Uh-oh.
something's wrong with Andy right
Andy
now.
needs help.
Next
Andy,
would
what?
be
What would mine be?
next would be I fucking love The Departed. Exactly.
Wow. Yeah. When I come around on The Departed, you better look into the sky, dude, because the fucking thing's
Yeah.
on fire and falling.
Like
That's
if you
how it
happen to tweet, decided to throw on The Departed, it was on TV or whatever, and Alec Baldwin actually really competent in this film, a great performance. I'd be like, wow.
Tonally spot on for what they're going, the vibe they're going for in that film. I actually think the humor really just adds to the overall tension of the piece. And Mark Wahlberg's
Really good
acting,
motor skills,
Oh my
He's
god,
not sweaty at all.
graceful as a ballerina and just dry as a fucking desert wind. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been your Kind of Funny podcast for this week. We appreciate you very, very much. Of course, please, if you're watching this on YouTube, please think about giving us a little thumbs up. Make sure you hit that bell notification so you get all of our notifications when we post new content, which we do 15 times a day. And make sure you're subscribing to this channel because we'd love to have over 300,000 subscribers. And now that Tim's gone, so we can just lord it over the Kind of Funny Games channel. I just can't wait, Joey. I can't wait till we hit. Andy, are you doing a Wonder
I figure
Woman?
what's on
happening
Andy's
here?
watch.
My
What are
watch
you
is
doing?
telling me a reminder, we're moving, whatever. Like just the
Get
whole
up
thing.
and
Oh,
move.
the like
Andy's
thing.
Andy's going to get up and move. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, he's going to do that right after our post show, which happens for all of the Patreon people right now.